This is an insight into how the people felt about their leaders. They were afraid of them. They feared them. They were the ones that they believed had charge of their eternal souls and their destiny and their place in the kingdom. And they wanted to comply with them. They were completely engulfed under their power and authority. For the Jews had already agreed, again, the Jews, the leaders, that if anyone confessed him to be Christ, the Messiah, he was to be put out of the synagogue. Anybody who affirmed that he was a follower or she was a follower of Jesus Christ would be persona non grata in the social life of Israel because everything revolved around the synagogue. They would be unsynagogued. They would be excommunicated. They would be considered an outcast. They couldn't participate in social activities of any kind, even within a family. So the people knew what the price was if they followed this demon-possessed man. The price was high. In chapter 9 and verse 24, a second time they called the man who had been blind, and they knew he could see, and they said, "Give glory to God. We know that this man is a sinner." He's a sinner. He's demon-possessed. He's like a Samaritan. He's an outcast and a traitor. And that's what they said to the people. And anyone who followed him would be literally put out of the society of Israel. Price was high. Chapter 10 and verse 19, very important. A division occurred again among the Jews because of these words. And many of them were saying, "He has a demon and is insane. Why do you listen to him?" All right, now we've got another element. He is insane. He is a maniac. He is a madman. Down in verse 31, the Jews, again, picked up stones to stone him. Verse 39, they were seeking again to seize him, and he eluded their grasp. Maybe just one more from the 11th chapter, and verse 53, from that day on, they planned together to kill him. And that leads right into the Passion Week, where they were able to get the Romans to execute him. The tide is the tide of hatred, and it is promulgated by the leaders of Israel who are the gatekeepers of an apostate, damning religious system. They are in the business of producing, Jesus said in his own words, sons of hell just like themselves. They were so effective that when you come to Matthew 27, 23, and 25, the people all scream, "Crucify him, crucify him, crucify him. We will not have this man to reign over us." That is the power of false religion. It is the power to capture the souls of sinners. Now let's go back to chapter 5. In John's gospel, this entire flow of persecution against Jesus starts from this story. Verse 16, and they were persecuting Jesus, the Jews were. The tide of hatred is triggered by what happens in chapter 5, verses 1 to 16. Yes, it is a miracle. Yes, it is an amazing miracle, healing a man who was 38 years ill. That's a wondrous evidence of the deity of Jesus Christ. But the miracle is not the reason for the story. It is to show us the reaction to Jesus. This miracle triggers the hostility of Israel. Here is the trigger, you could say, that launches the people from interest with reservations to rejection without reservations. From interest with reservations to rejection without reservation. And so, in chapter 5, 6, and 7, opposition is the theme. Opposition to Jesus now becomes the theme.